L-E-V. Y'all already know. Y'all tuned into Witty Smitty News, the main source of battle rap news. That's fire.
You get washed on the web, itsy bitsy. You in question soon as we see you, Witty Smitty.
Christian Smith, Witty Smitty News, joined with a special guest, Robyn Banks. She's here with Lev, of course. We have Beast Mode The Awakening. So we just saw Suspense Dabs. How do you think that battle was?
That was an unexpectedly dope battle. I thought it was going to be one-sided. I was a little biased, but I think Dabs really stepped his shit up. And I was actually really impressed with him today. I think it was a dope battle. It was hilarious. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I think it'll translate well on footage.
No, yeah, I think so too. It was really good. Great way to kick the weekend off, for sure.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
So let's kick it off from the beginning.
Okay.
First female Beast Mode battle ever. Also the highest viewed Beast Mode battle by It's Not Close whatsoever. So, do you ever get any backlash from other roster members from being like ridiculously, like some of their egos, do they get kind of hurt by a female battle being the highest viewed on the league?
To be honest, like BM is family and they've treated me like just like family. Like they're actually, I've gotten nothing but positive feedback on that, you know. Definitely the how the fuck did that happen, you know, but I myself don't know how it happened, but I'm just, you know, I'm happy it did, but yeah. Beast Mode's family, so they definitely. I don't get any backlash. I haven't gotten any.
No, that's good.
Shit about it.
I just feel like you know how dudes are sometimes.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like, oh, girls.
I think they're more so proud. You know.
No,
like,
I think it's amazing.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Because it was the first female battle, so I think it doing numbers like that represents the league well. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
So it sets the standard for females. It makes them want to be better. And that's what I want.
So was that your actual first battle or just first on a league?
No, that was actually my second battle.
Second battle?
And kind of home because my first battle was away. It was under a different name. I was Robyn Spree, but copyright issues didn't allow me to have that name.
Right.
So I changed it, so that's why it's kind of hard to find. It was my first battle. It was 60-second, 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not really that proud of it. I'm okay with it not being on Verse Tracker.
Interruption. BMNY to BMTO, Robyn Banks, Kashmir Digan, hold on. We out here, it's The Awakening.
Thank you.
So let's go.
Hey.
L-E-V.
You can't do that in my interview.
Always.
Alright, as a champion, he's allowed.
So what was it that got you into battling then? Like, what was the first battle you saw where you're like, oh shit, I kind of want to try this out and do this shit?
Well, Lev started Lev and I have been dating for 8 years. So when I first started dating him, he introduced me to battle rap, and I started with the WRCs and like old school grind time. I think one of the first battles that I saw was Johnny Storm and High Collide. That I was like, oh my gosh, like this is great. And I fell in love with the sport. You know, you first start dating someone and you kind of take on their hobby just because I actually fell in love with battle rap myself. It took 5 years before I hopped in the ring. The girl that I first battled, she said my name in a forum, and I was like, you won't battle me though. And at that point, I felt like, as a fan, I kind of had an edge because of knowing the crowd and knowing that I needed to adapt to each crowd. That each crowd is different, and I felt like I had the upper hand in that sense. And I'm a writer, so I wanted to test my pen and see if I was capable of doing. I knew the technical aspects of it because Lev is a really technical writer, so I knew what went into making a good round, and I wanted to see if I could do it, and I mean, the rest is history.
So I'm glad you brought up the different crowd thing. So you battled on different leagues, Massacre Battle Association, Crack Liberty, which is the Philly league.
Yes.
Roan usually co-hosts with them and whatnot. So when you're battling on different leagues, like in NY, in Philly, do you write differently depending what city you're in, or do you just do you every time and don't really cater to where you are?
I try to stay within being different because I do feel like I am a little bit different than most female battle rappers, but I do cater to the crowd. So when I battled in Massachusetts, I knew that I couldn't say the same things that I would say in Staten. I kind of curve it a little bit, and you have to adapt to each crowd. So I do a little bit curve it. I try to, in my Shice battle, I had some Philly references, you know. I like to throw that in there just to kind of get the crowd to relate to me because I do battle away a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do adjust myself a little bit, but I like to stay true to like who I am, which I haven't really figured out yet. But you know.
So you've only had 5 battles. I've seen 4 of them because I didn't know about the name that you had a different name previously. And to me, none of them have really been close. In my opinion, like pretty clear wins for all 4 of them, I should say. So who's gonna bring that competition, do you think? Like, do you need to get to Queen of the Ring to maybe see that competition? What name do you think's gonna actually bring the best Robyn Banks out?
I think that my last battle versus Vixen, I think she was my best opponent to date, and I think that clearly showed in my writing. I definitely didn't go easy on her, and I feel like, honestly, and since I started battling, I just feel like if I was to have a really classic battle, it would have to be with MyVerse. It would have to be with MyVerse.
That would be fire.
Because I appreciate her pen game and I appreciate her art form, and I feel like that would bring the best out of me. I would have no choice but to go Super Saiyan, you know? I can't get schooled in the ring. I'm not used to it. I'm undefeated. Like, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. So you're first lady at Penn Station as well. So how did the group and all that get together?
Well, Lev and Kane were actually friends in high school, and I met Lev and Kane in college 8 years ago, and then we kind of just got together, and I mean, he started battle rap first, and Kane, I think I came in before. No, Kane came in first. Then I came in, and it was kind of like, well, we're all friends, and I mean, we're not really trying to rep anybody else's, I don't want to say brand, but name. So we're like, you know what, let's come up with our own shit, and that's, I mean, we go way back. So I mean, I feel like the chemistry's there. And, the support is there.
And you're all great writers, so it just kind of makes sense, right?
Yes.
So obviously you Lev, we've talked about him.
Yes.
What do you think's the best bar against one of his opponents that's been said to you?
Ooh, this is a good one. Well, he's had a lot of battles. And before they knew who I was, there was always references towards me. Obviously, you can't have a battle rap without talking about a guy's girlfriend. I'm trying to think if there was anything that really stood out. I don't really know. Nothing really stood out. You know why? Because I call their bluff. They're not going to do any of the shit they say they're going to do. So it doesn't really matter. But I do give them props. Yes, actually, yes. Thank you. Jack Tripper. Creep me the fuck out. Awesome dude. Love him. And he, like, you know, came up to me afterwards and we chopped it up and everything was cool. But he was definitely... I had to give it to him. I mean, it's Jack Tripper. You know? That was the most fun that I had, being as, you know, the target in a battle. But yeah, I mean, as for what they say against me, I really don't. At this point, I feel like it's
you take it very well. You take it well.
It's I mean, you have to have a tough skin to
be in
this
100%.
sport. And I mean, before I started coming to events, like, you didn't really see females, so I'm glad that females are not coming out. And they're not, because I mean, it's all in good fun. It's verbal boxing on stage. It's a sport within itself. So I don't feel like you should be afraid to come to events because you're afraid of what they're going to say to you. Who cares? Like, you know what I mean? It's all in good fun. So I mean, I like it for the sport. I appreciate it. So I get a crack out of it. I tell him when his opponent I thought he had a good bar or, you know, a good punch or whatever. So.
So one last question. You've been brought up on Witty Smitty News before. Miss Black Pearl had a couple words for you after the Snow White battle.
I actually didn't watch it.
So
I heard about it.
Enough said then.
Yeah.
Enough said. I don't even. We don't even need.
It is what it is.
You didn't watch a battle? Nothing to say then.
No. Robyn Banks, Penn Station, SoundClick, ADHD. Witty, thank you for having me.
Thank you.